AITA, for blowing up at my wife after what she did at my workplace. I am 37, started working at my dad's friend's restaurant since 2016. Started off small, but was able to gain my employer's trust, and after seeing how I have been managing the restaurant on days when he wasn't available, he decided to assign me to handle restaurant management. That means overseeing day-to-day operations, handling customers' complaints, providing service, managing shifts and putting together schedules and so on. I'm not really the manager, but the staff thinks I am. My relationship and interaction with the staff have changed a bit, but it's got nothing to do with my behavior. My wife is my biggest supporter. She was thrilled after I told her I'm directly handling management. But I made it clear I'm not the manager, so I have limited authority. I'm not the ultimate decision maker in this establishment. Still, she went to tell everyone that her husband is now the manager of his workplace. Even posted about it, but I told her to take it down immediately. She showed up at the restaurant, doesn't normally eat there, and brought her friends with her. There was 5 of them. She invited them for lunch and ordered plenty of dishes. Then she embarrassed the waitress by refusing to pay, telling everyone that she's the wife of the manager and she shouldn't pay. She started arguing with the waitress, then went home. In 2H I got a call from the waitress wanting to talk about what happened and why I fired her. I was shocked, I had no clue. She showed me the message that was sent from my Facebook, but I swore I didn't do it. I didn't even know my wife came to the restaurant. Turned out my wife sent the message on my behalf and fired the waitress, claiming her behavior was rude and unprofessional. I was livid. I got berated by the manager after he found out, and I begged and explained that it was a mistake, a misunderstanding, and was able to give an alibi as to when this message was sent. Thankfully he was patient and graceful. I got home and I confronted her. She confirmed everything, even the message. I blew up. Told her she almost caused me my entire job with her unacceptable behavior. For the millionth times I told her I'm not the manager and she needed to stop using this an excuse to behave like this. She started crying after I told her to apologize to the waitress after this. Packed her stuff and left. I was so angry I smoked a cigarette, although I've been trying to quit. Her parents, my in-laws, called demanding to know what the hell their daughter did other than be excited for my new position, and that I was wrong to cause her to cry when all she's ever been is supportive and encouraging. After they insisted I mishandled this argument, I just stopped talking to them. I'm now required to visit soon as possible and bring flowers and apologize to my wife for yelling, but I haven't done anything yet. Not the asshole. Maybe don't apologize and hopefully she won't come back. Not the asshole. How old is your wife? Because she sounds like a child. Not the asshole. Don't you dare apologize to your wife. Is she trying to get you fired? Her behavior is just outrageous. I would never, in a million years, go to my husband's place of employment and embarrassment him like that. I'm sure you were mortified. Hell, I'm mortified for you. IDGAF how old your wife is. My 15-year-old has more manners. Show up with flowers, divorce papers, and a ban from your restaurant. Not the asshole. She's being entitled and showing her true ugly colors, and blowing off consequences. Not the asshole. Your wife is giving the business, and you, a bad reputation. What she did was not okay. She jeopardized not only your job but also the job of the waitress. You are 100% justified in being angry. For your own sake, please try and find another way to cope. I understand the allure of cigarettes, but if you're trying to quit, momentary slidebacks can lead to a larger relapse. Good luck. Not the asshole. Wow. Your wife overstepped, and not only messed with your job, but the waitress job. That's just crazy. Then she embarrassed the waitress by refusing to pay, telling everyone that she's the wife of the manager and she shouldn't pay. She started arguing with the waitress, then went home. In 2H I got a call from the waitress wanting to talk about what happened and why I fired her. I was shocked, I had no clue. She showed me the message that was sent from my Facebook, but I swore I didn't do it. Your wife almost cost you your livelihood. Is this really true? I cannot believe your wife really wanted a freebie for her and friends. And firing the waitress. Beside the narrative. Evidence. Not the asshole. And this is the first time your wife has acted this bizarrely. I'd find that hard to believe. Not the asshole, but your wife is a huge at. Why would you want to be married to someone who treats people like shit? I think you should take a few days to cool off, and then re-examine your marriage to this woman. She sounds horribly entitled. Not the asshole. Your wife was WAAAAY out of line. Do not apologize to her, unless it's, I'm sorry you thought it was okay to behave like that. I cannot believe that a grown woman went home crying to her parents. Though I'm willing to bet that the story she told them differed significantly from what really happened. Frankly, I might bring up the idea of banning her from the restaurant entirely until her behavior improves. If it ever does. I'm now required to visit soon as possible and bring flowers and apologize to my wife for yelling, but I haven't done anything yet. For the love of Shrek and his farts, do not apologize. She will think her behavior is acceptable and it is not. The waitress is owed an apology from your wife for her shitty actions towards her. You are owed an apology from your wife for her shitty actions towards you. And her parents can sod right off, no wonder she is the way she is with enablers as parents. NTA. I don't usually jump to this, but divorce time. Or admitting she was wrong and agreeing to go to therapy from you wife. Don't be angry at the parents. There is 0% chance they've been told the true story. Not the asshole. Sorry to say, but your wife seems to be an adult entitled brat. As someone that worked in food service, idgaff whose wife, husband, crotch spawn you are, if you order and consume a product, you pay for said product. If your in-laws are asking what she did, she likely told him that she did absolutely nothing. Not the asshole. Tell them that your wife is the one who has to apologize or you are going to leave her entitled and rude ass. Not the asshole. Your wife almost cost you your job over probably trying to impress her friends. Don't coddle her, she should know, understand she's wrong. Yelling may have not been the best option, but honestly she needs some humbling. What the hell their daughter did other than be excited for my new position. Your wife probably did not tell him the entire story. If she did, they are as much of an asshole your wife is. Do not apologize or do anything else along that line, because that will just encourage her entitlement, or should I say misplaced entitlement. Not the asshole at all. I'm now required to visit soon as possible and bring flowers and apologize to my wife for yelling, but I haven't done anything yet. This has to be fake, come on man. If not, divorce ASAP. I remember seeing this exact post long before. Not the asshole. Can you fire the wife? That is shockingly entitled behavior. I feel bad for that server. You're lucky to still have a job after that disaster. She owes you, the waitress and your boss, an apology. What entitled childish behavior. Her actions will already change your workplace dynamic in a negative way. Not the asshole. You are definitely not the asshole here. Your wife is for attempting this. As a former waitress, I would have freaked out. Not the asshole, but your wife sure is. And #X200B. Good riddance to her. Not the asshole. Even if you were the manager, the way she acted was not okay. She wasn't celebrating you, she was weirdly trying to show off. Real serious judgment problem. Not the asshole. But do take your wife a beautiful bunch of flowers, along with her clothes and personal documents. If she is like when you aren't the manager, then imagine what she is going to be like if you do ever attain a position of authority somewhere. How would you be TA in this situation? NTA. But why take on the manager position without the title and presumably the pay? Not the asshole. Ditch the wife. Not the asshole. Your wife's behavior was incredibly rude. I also work in the restaurant industry, and even if you were the manager, family members are not entitled to free food. Your wife should be embarrassed. Packed her stuff and left. Don't let her move back in. Not the asshole. Info. How old is your wife? Your age is here, but hers isn't. It's easier to understand someone's thinking if you know more about them. Called demanding to know what the hell their daughter did other than be excited for my new position. Let's see. Try to steal a significant amount of service from your place of work, behave like an entitled asshole to your co-workers, impersonate you, damage the waitress' livelihood to serve her own power trip, jeopardize your employment running to mommy when faced with the consequences of her actions. Tell her that you're happy to resume your conversation at home whenever she snaps out of it and is willing to behave like an adult again. Not the asshole. Also change all your social media passwords and remotely log out other clients if the system allows for it. This is a serious breach of trust. I've only been subbed here for a short time and I still feel shocked at people's stories here. Like, did you not just read the story you typed? How, in any instance, are you the asshole? Come on man. Not the asshole. You may need to rethink your wife being your biggest supporter. Cause that means not just rooting for you, it means not ruining your career in the name of being proud of you. I mean, what the fuck was she thinking? It's like she craves some kind of power, and by you being a manager, she acted out some weird firing fantasy. This was complete idiocy on her part. Not the asshole, your wife was incredibly out of line. I'm glad her arrogance and ego didn't cost you your job. Not the asshole. She was way out of line. If she cannot see that, you need to get out of this marriage. NTABU, your wife is a power-hungry witch. Not the asshole. Your wife isn't your biggest supporter. She's happy about your current posture because of the status she thinks it affords her among her friends, family and apparently the staff at the restaurant. This can't be the first time this mean-spirited, petty, spoiled attitude has shown itself. Everyone has their flaws, but she's not even an all-right person, let alone a good one. To each their own, but I'd be seriously having a frank conversation with myself about what I want in a life partner. Out of curiosity, did you have to pay for your wife's lunch party? Plus a tip for the waitress? Not the asshole, I think your wife did you a favor when she left because it sounds like you're way better off without her. I hope you changed your passwords now. Not the asshole, her behavior was totally uncalled for. You don't treat people like that no matter who you are. She is acting like a toddler with her crocodile tears. Wife acted badly and instant tears because someone was mean to her. Kind of pathetic in my mind. Then to top it off, she runs to mommy and daddy and they expect you to apologize. Kind of see where her spoiled attitude comes from. Hope she grows up soon. Holy shit, not the asshole. I'm an 18-year retail veteran and I'd lose my damn mind if my spouse pulled that shit on me and my co-workers. Is this how she always behaves? If so, then my friend, I feel you could do better. I'm now required to visit soon as possible and bring flowers and apologize to my wife for yelling, but I haven't done anything yet. If it were me, I'd bring her divorce papers. Not the asshole. Is your wife 12? Not the asshole. If she's acted like this before, then it's time to leave. If this is unusual behavior for her, then try to get in touch with her. My man. Where do we start? This entire situation was wildly fucking inappropriate of her. Refusing to pay. Classless. Then pretending to be you to fire an employee over Facebook Messenger. Absolutely inexcusable. You owe your wife zero apology and it's not even close. She owes one to you and your employee. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your wife acted badly from ordering food that she thought would be free, argued with the waitress, impersonated you on Facebook to fire the waitress to storming out of your home when confronted. Thank goodness the waitress confronted you instead of your boss. If what you say is true, and frankly I have some doubts, then the restaurant owner is also AITA. You have all of the responsibilities of a manager without the title and I would assume the pay. Also, the part about someone getting fired, and believing said firing, via Facebook is a bit dubious. Gonna call nice try. Not the asshole. I used to work at a cafe and I was the manager. When my husband came with his friend for coffee, they paid and left. Like normal people. Not the asshole. Flowers and a big apology for the waitress, divorce papers for the wife. I'd also collect evidence she used your account to try and fire the poor waitress and pulled that dine and dash BS. Hopefully it'll aid you in court. Your in-laws likely have only heard the sob story from your wife making you out to be the bad guy, so don't waste energy on them. They're not worth your time. I'd get out of that marriage and that family. There is no way in hell this came out of nowhere. There is no way this is the first time your wife and your in-laws have revealed themselves to be awful people.